Hi guys, welcome to lesson 7, replacing letters with numbers. So today we are finally going to be putting numbers where you see those letters. So you're going to understand that a letter represents one number in an expression. So when you replace the number, when that number replaces the letter, you will be able to evaluate that expression and you will get an answer. So that one number you'll get one number. That one number can be as many digits long as it needs to be. But now you will be getting answers to those expressions with letters. Before we begin, please remember just like 3 times 3 is 3 squared. Units times units is units squared. Okay? Or also called square units. So let's say you are looking at area. Like 3 inches times 3 inches equals squared inches. So it equals 9 square inches, or 9 inches squared. Okay, it doesn't really sound quite as good, but that's what that means. Okay, so we have this box right here, and this should be on page S26 of your sheet. What is the length of one side of the square? So we see this side of the length here as 1, 2, 3. So that is 3 units. What is the formula for the area of a square? Okay. And we know that, usually, right, for the formula for area is length times width. But for our purposes here, we're going to say that A equals S squared. So it means this side times this side. Sorry about my voice. What is the square's area as a multiplication expression? Now we're going to put numbers to that. A equals 3 units times 3 units. So what is the square's area? Okay, remember we had talked about this. It is now 9 square units, or it can be written as 9 units to the power of 2, right? Or units squared. So we can count the units. However, look at this other square. Its side length is 23 centimeters. That is just too many tiny units to draw. So what expression can we build to find the square's area? So what is the area of a square? Use a calculator if you need to. So pause this video, take some time to calculate the area of this square. So we said that A equals S squared, right? Now that means that A equals this side, 23 centimeters. And since it's a square, this side is also 23 centimeters. And that's why we only used S here. There's only one variable because it's just all the side of a square. And it happens to be 23 centimeters long. And if you calculate that, hoping that you got the same answer, your answer should be 529 centimeters squared. So now you do exercise 1. Please note that the drawings are not to scale, okay? So don't freak out. It's just not to scale. Example 2, you see these 2 rectangles. Pay attention to it. What do you notice, right? So what does the letter B represent in this blue triangle? So you see this says B centimeters, and here on the other side it says 8 centimeters. So this B means that this side is also 8 centimeters. Back to these 2 rectangles again. With a partner, answer the following question. Given that the second rectangle is divided into 4 equal parts, okay, so we've divided this into 4 equal parts, what does the X represent? Over here, what is the length of this X? So try to solve that with your partner. Pause this video if you need to. Yes, so X means these 2 sides right here, the length of these 2 down here, that's 8 centimeters because they told us that this one is 4 centimeters. And we were also told that this was divided into 4 equal parts. So you put 2 of them together, it's 8 centimeters. How did you arrive at this answer? Okay, and what is the total length of the second rectangle? Tell a partner how you know. So For this one, how did you arrive at this answer? I kind of gave it to you already. If you're listening, write your answer there. Okay. So, the length consists of 4 segments that each has a length of 4 centimeters. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. We know that's all 4 centimeters. So the total length of the second rectangle, okay, it's 4 times 4 centimeters, and that equals 16 centimeters. So if the two large rectangles have equal lengths and widths, find the area of the rectangle. Okay. We know that this side is 8 centimeters because they told us it's the same, and this side is 16 centimeters, and now so your total area, okay, that means you're measuring what's inside here. That's 128 centimeters squared. Remember, we multiplied 8 times 16, and we're also multiplying the centimeters here. Centimeters, centimeters, and we get centimeters squared. So discuss the last prompt with a partner. When you are done, answer exercise 2. Okay, so after this one, there is another prompt. And then start with exercise 2. Moving on to example 3, we have these rectangular prisms. Okay. Now we get a length times width times height. What does L represent in the first diagram? Okay, this L represents the length of the rectangular prism. The W here, that represents the width of the rectangular prism. And the H over here, that represents the height of the rectangular prism. So if you need to copy this, pause the video and copy this now. Here we go again with our rectangular prisms. Now, since we know that the formula to find the volume is length times width times height, so to find the volume means you want to know how much fits inside this rectangular prism. Kind of like if you have a box of tissues, right? You want to know what that space inside can hold. What number can we substitute for the L in the formula? So remember, these two rectangular prisms are the same. This one gives us the letters L, W, and H, and this one actually gives us the numbers. So L correlates to this one. So 6, because the length of the second rectangular prism is 6 centimeters. What other number can we substitute for L? Can we think about it? Can we substitute this with another number? No other number can replace L. Only one number can replace one letter. Okay? So for this, only one number can be replaced by this number. What number can we substitute for the W? Okay, it's down here. 2, because the width of the second rectangular prism is 2 centimeters. And for the height, what number can we substitute? It's 8. Not only is it the only number that's left there, because it is the height here, it is the height of the second rectangular prism right here. Determine the volume of the second rectangular prism by replacing the letters in the formula with their appropriate numbers. Okay, remember our volume was length times width times height. So now you are multiplying 6 centimeters times 2 centimeters times 8 centimeters. 6 times 2 times 8. And your answer will be 96 centimeters cubed. This should be a superscript, or it should be a smaller number to the top, and I apologize, that's not it, that it's not written as a superscript, but that should be cubed. When we have your unit of measurement to the power of 3, that is always called cubed. Okay, so now solve for exercise 3, and pause this video if you need to. So our lesson for today, we talked about variables. Remember that as the letter is a symbol, such as a letter, that is a placeholder for a number. Expression is a numerical expression, or it is the result of replacing some or all of the numbers in a numerical expression with variables. Okay, so some of them will have a combination of letters and numbers, and that's an expression. There are two ways to build expressions. We can start out with a numerical expression like 1/3 times 2 plus 4 plus 7 and replace some of the numbers with letters. And this is what it looks like. And you can build an expression from scratch where you have all your variables. And note that if numbers were placed in an expression for the variables x, y, and z, the result will be a numerical expression. So once you put in numbers, that's a numerical expression. So today you've already worked on your exercise problems. So now you're going to answer the problem set questions. When you're done, get an exit ticket, write your name on the board, do the problem set questions, do your best, and I will see you in lesson 8.